Hello! I decided to make a lesson video for my final project because throughout managerial accounting this semester and the majority of my other classes, I find videos to be extremely helpful and one of the best ways I learn. Today, we are going to be breaking down decision making and an example of this in business shown as an add or drop decision. There are 6 key concepts to decision making and differential analysis. To first understand decision making, it is necessary to identify which costs are relevant and which costs should be ignored in different types of decisions. Relevant costs are costs that change with each decision you make. The reverse are irrelevant costs or sunk costs. For the purpose of this lesson, we are going to be using an example where I own a bakery and bake bread. I launched a new product last year, gluten-free bread. It was supposed to be a major growth catalyst for our business, but it's been a flop so far. I want to shut down the gluten-free line, but I've also invested so much of my time and money. I have some cost data to look at and need to look closer before deciding what to do. Before we get to this data, let's remember that a decision on whether or not to continue an old product line or department or to start a new one is called an add or drop decision. An add or drop decision must be based only on relevant information, and you'll see why you need to be extra careful carrying out these type of decisions. Examples of relevant information are sales revenue, direct cost, variable overhead, and fixed overhead. Such decision must not be based on irrelevant information such as allocated fixed overhead, because allocated fixed overhead will not be eliminated if the product line or department is dropped. Let's see the data. So here you can see that the cost data for the selling and production of regular loaves of bread, the cost data for the business of gluten-free bread, and the totals for both. You may think that it is an obvious decision to drop the gluten-free line, as their profit is actually negative. But to carry out this decision, let's see what happens to the totals if we were to eliminate the line. Technically, a company should drop the segment only if its profit would increase without it. To see this, compare the contribution margin lost if the line is discontinued to the fixed cost avoided if the line was discontinued. When deciding whether to drop a product line, the only things that should be considered are the contribution margin provided by the product line and the fixed costs that could be avoided by dropping the product line, shown here. This is important because fixed costs are sometimes allocated to product lines, which can distort managerial decision-making by creating the appearance that the firm would be more profitable by dropping a product line that may appear unprofitable because it is being allocated fixed costs that would not disappear if the product line were dropped. In this case, our building rent does not go away. We are stuck in our lease and still have to pay the $8,000. Our operating profit shown here, without the gluten-free line, we would only make $1,000. This is because we were allocating a fixed cost. So in the end, allocating fixed costs can lead to bad decision making, and this is always worth paying extra close attention to make sure you don't miss. Hopefully, this lesson allowed you to further understand add or drop decisions, especially in this instance where you have to pay extra attention. I know educational videos help me a ton in school, which is why I will be uploading this for other students to use if they need it like I did. Thanks everyone. Bye.